Gupta sir, please start the session.
Good evening, friends. I am your host, K.K. Gupta, Director Association of Financial Services. Friend, this is our 27th webinar under the series of the association. On the request of our members, some bankers also requested us. So we are holding this webinar. The main object of this webinar to understand what is the MA, merger and acquisitions, and what is the success amidst market turmoils. You know that this financial years, deal maker were riding high from the best year on record of global M&A, merger and acquisitions. However, as the year comes to an end, not only the headwinds groans stronger, what new one have emerged, including rapidly escalating inflations, interest rate, low stock price, and an energy crisis dependent by Russia and Ukraine conflict. Despite these challenges, merger and acquisition will likely play an increasing important role in corporate strategy. And there might even be better opportunity for investor to generate healthy returns in today's environments. As valuation come down, especially it is imperative to plan or prepare to win over stakeholding, understand how inflation can be game changer, and prioritize increasing urgent workforce strategy in acquisition and integrations. Friends, MA are essentially phenomenon for the late 1990s. Early to this year, merger and acquisition in India were arranged either by the government agencies or by the financial institutions within the framework of regulating regimes. Now, major aspect of any acquisitions or merger, what are the motives? Major issues, what are the motives for the mergers? Either it may be valuation creation, either it be diversifications, acquisition of the assets, increase in financial capability, tax purposes, incentive for merger. I think these are the broad motives behind any merger. And when we are talking about the merger, what type of merger are? Whether it is a horizontal merger or a vertical merger or a conglomerative mergers or a concentrated or a reverse mergers. So we are going to discuss all details in respect of the mergers. So what is the recent development in merger and acquisitions? Challenge with the current MA market, idea for merger, success story of the market, key lessons, reasons behind recent MA failures. These are the aspects we are going to discuss in detail. We are eminent speakers with me, like Shri Tirakraj Chavla, who is a former executive director, Allahabad Bank. Shri Tripathi sir, he is freelancer, CC consultant and advocate, Bloom AG International Private Limited. We are with us Professor T.S. Vidyasagar, CEO, Tima RP Savvy. And we are with us Shri Shiva Sharna, who is a proprietor, Kaya Financial Services. So we are coming one by one. So at the outset, I'm coming to Shri Tilak Raj Chavla, who is ex-executive director. His MBA Finance, LLB, Diploma, Personal Management, and CIIB. Overall, 37 plus year of experience in banking, right from the scale 1 to scale 7 in Punjab National Bank and Dina Bank. He worked as executive director 25 months in Allahabad Bank. During his tenure in Dina Bank, Mumbai City, Chennai regions, he also headed Gujarat operation of Dina Bank for 3 years as general manager in charge. As a general manager head office of Dina Bank, he shared the responsibility in almost all spheres of the banking, to name a few: treasury, forex, resources, priority sector, including SME, information technology, integrated risk management, recovery management, retail banking, etc. Currently, he is advising corporate clients on restructuring their financial requirement, restructuring their existing financial liabilities, trade finance, and related matters. Chavla sir, just I am asking from you, what sort of opportunity exists for the deal makers in the current market? Because the market is very, very, you can say, turbulent.
Yeah.
Respect to whether you're talking about the interest regime, you're talking about the inflation, you're talking about the stock market. So, what are your views about the sir, Chavla sir? Hand over to Mr. Chavla.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Gupta ji and other panelists. Now, opportunities in the area of mergers and acquisitions in the current scenario, as you said, Gupta ji, turbulent times. Interest rates are rising because of very many factors. Cost of inputs has gone up sizably, and also the fact remains that entrepreneurs are trying to explore the possibilities of somehow reducing the costs so that the margins can be maintained. There are corporates which have financial strength, which have managerial capabilities. They are looking out for the units which are compatible from the culture point of view, from the product point of view, or maybe diversification they are looking for because they have confidence in their management and they are sure that they can take a unit and integrate with the existing setup. Now, opportunities are many in the sense that the two units, one target unit and one targeting unit, they need to focus on long-term aspects of the business. Short-term gains or short-term consideration may not work in the merger and acquisitions because each of the party, that is the merging party and the acquiring party, they are looking for the value. And unless both of them come to a situation, come to a conclusion that it is a deal is beneficial to both of them, it will not happen. So challenge of the negotiator or the person who is undertaking the valuation and trying to explore the possibility of merger among the two is that he convinces both the parties by way of valuation, by way of compatibility, because the units know in the short term they are finding it difficult to maintain the margins because of various factors which are, some of that could be unit specific, some of them are economy specific, and some of them are global specific. They know that it is difficult to continue for a long term. So maybe if they collaborate with some bigger unit having a financial muscle, their long term survival can be ensured. So opportunities are many. Only the right mix of the two parties, that is merging party and the acquiring party, that should take place. Once the need for or the compatibility of the two things is established, things can be planned further by working out the benefits for both of them. And I'm sure the people who are involved in this particular process, they can identify units because market is quite turbulent and opportunities are many.
Chawla, there is a major issue. What I feeling is, which I have in opening remarks also told, regarding the inflations, regarding the interest rate, regarding the low stock
Yeah.
price and crisis, whether this can be beneficial for the buyer at this stage.
It can be beneficial in the sense, I mean, as I said, the short term may not be, should not be the target. Target should be long term. The buyer knows that he has financial muscle and he can, mobilize the resources, and he can maybe down the line 2 3 years or 5 years, he can sail through the, economic conditions, and then the sky is the limit, because the tight conditions, like as we are facing now, inflation, rate of interest going up, cost of input going up because of the war at one part of the world, and energy crisis on the other part of the world, they are not going to last for long. They are temporary, transient type of incidences. Once these get settled, then it is a normal economic scenario. Demand will grow, and the cost of factors will come down. Rate of interest will also stabilize. Inflation will also stabilize. You know that is the point. If a unit having a muscle to weather these 2 3 years tough times, then it is opportunity for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chawla, whatever recently carried out of a research report, it is said that it is better for the buyer during this downturn period, they should go ahead for the merger or acquisition. You can start talking about the merger or acquisition. I think or takeover, you can say merger, acquisition, or takeover.
Takeover, yes.
So, this period, this financial year, is a good for the corporates who are coming, taking over the another units for that.
I mean, this time, to my mind, they can get a good price. Valuation of the units can be good,
That is the point.
and ultimately,
That is
the
the point.
valuation matters.
Yes, yes. But
Valuation matters.
this is a good time
Yeah.
where the stock price is also very less, and valuation aspect will also come down. I think
Yes.
this is the better aspects for which we
Yeah.
are talking about. Chablaji, one of the things is the wire is there, whether it is must that he should know that business, he should be skilled in that business, or what do you feel that he should have a digital capability for that, or something is required for the buyer?
Yeah, that is a must. In the current scenario, Gupta ji, the digital market is growing like anything.
Okay.
The younger generation, they are more, into the digital purchases and digital selling. And as you know, the volumes are going up. For the
Yes.
e-commerce industry, the volumes are going up like anything. I mean, maybe during our times it was not that popular. With the pandemic, 2 years of pandemic has created the opportunity for digital, marketing and digital buying and selling of the goods. And there are a lot of demand for digital, the digitally trained executives in the industries. Now, what I feel is that the unit which is looking for acquiring, not necessarily they acquire within the domain area in which they already have a unit. But the fact is, if the management is confident, yes, they have the resources, financial resources, they can build up the technical, technical manpower to manage the unit which they are targeting or which is available for mergers or acquisition. They can go for it, because ultimately the quality of management, the confidence of the management matters. If they are able to manage a particular line of activity as of now, and they have the full strength, and they have the confidence, and they know they can manage, they can mobilize the resources for the entirely a new set of activity. I mean, ultimately it is a financial activity, it is a manufacturing activity, or it is a sales and service type of activity. And those units which are doing well, which have the good resources at their command, they can always, and the confidence in the management, they can always go for diversification as well. And there are instances where the diversification has also paid well, because in economic terms there's always a cycle for one type of activity. I mean, sometime it is at the top, sometime it is at the middle, and sometimes come at the bottom also, like cyclical industries. So that type of industry we look for diversification so that lean period can be covered by the target company products. So it is not a must that they do acquisition or the expansion in the line of activity which they are in. They can always think of diversification, and the confidence of the management certainly matters. Resources are
Okay.
available, technical manpower is available, other inputs are available. Only the management should be confident. Yes, they can steer through this unit after acquisition or merger.
Very nicely, Chawla sir, you have touched the point diversifications. Because this is a time they can have a diversification, and this is a good opportunity at this, I think, during this year for acquisition or the merger or you take over. What are you talking about? You take over or your diversification or acquisition? I think. So, Chawla sir, I will come back to you. Now I'm coming to Dr. Pitanjali Tripathi. He's MBA, he's MA, LLB, PhD. So he joined Government of Odisha as an officer of Odisha Cooperative Service Cadre and served in cooperative department for the 34 year of different capacity, either secretary, either GM, either MD, either Noida officer, as a national and present assignments. He worked as a principal consultant, Room AG International Private Limited as MNC on Agritech, having its headquarters at Zurich, Switzerland, presently associated with Quantum Leap Studio for creative content creations on different programs and impart training and orientations. Guest faculty, Regional Training Institute, National Cooperative Development Corporation, Regional Office, Bhubaneswar. Guest faculty and guest faculty Agro Cooperative Staff Training Institute, Odisha State Cooperative Bank. I think he's the right person when you're talking about Mr. Tripathi. But just what sector has witnessed the highest merger and acquisition activity recently? Have any view on that, sir? Which sector you feel that which are the important sector which come as a merger during this recent past? Mr. Tripathi. Tripathi sir. Unmute कर लीजिए Tripathi sir.
Yes, yes,
हाँ
yes.
sir.
So thank you very much, Gupta ji, for inviting me to such a beautiful discussion on the very upcoming and topic that is very relevant. As rightly addressed by you in the inaugural address, and as rightly complimented by Chawla sahab. Definitely for the last 2-3 years after pandemic, we are going through a very turbulent situation. But even in pandemic also, there has been, as you have rightly said, it has created a lot of opportunities in different diversified activities. So also in merger and acquisition, there is opportunity, as rightly said by my esteemed panelist, Chawla sir. As far as India is concerned and present scenario is concerned, despite this current account deficit, inflation, and the Monetary Policy Committee of RBI meeting very often, and repo rate, reverse repo rate, consequent rise in interest rate. Despite all these things, one good thing has happened, that India has marked a record in as far as merger and acquisition deal is concerned. And there has been a 60% growth in merger and acquisition, and worth around $148 billion as compared to 2021. And most activities of merger and acquisition is in financial sector. As you can know, that merger of SDFC with SDFC Bank, and many fintech have been merged with similar other. Most of all, the horizontal merger, as you rightly said, there are different kind of mergers, and merger in M&A in financial sector account for 49%. So out of $148 billion, $70 billion account for M&A in financial activities, and in IT sector that is 18%. So this is the comparative scenario as far as India is concerned between 2021 to 2022. Of course, in respect of 2022, only the last 3 quarters up to September 2022.
So, Mr. Tripathi, what you're talking about the financial merger or IT merger, I think is a maximum.
Yes.
So, what do you feel that with recent past, when we're talking about the merger, I think biggest acquisitions in Indian company has been Walmart,
Yeah.
acquired by the Flipkart.
Flipkart.
I think that value was about 16 million pound
Right.
in 2018. And we also talking about the Google merger with Android. So what do you feel? Have any suggestion for that? Such a big merger are taking place. And what do you expect that during this year, there will be a sufficient merger will be there or acquisition will be there?
Yeah, taking cue from Mr. Chawla, even in turbulent times, because of the valuation, and normally this is the time, normally in stock market, many people who are having domain knowledge, they advise for purchasing stock only when there is crash, so that this short-lived time, and the time will better time will come, so that they get this dividend. So since this is more or less a turbulent time, so it is there is a wide opportunity for diversification of business, for expansion of business, for taking care of lean period. So this is the period when you can acquire or take over or merge with another unit, maybe at a lesser price, and with the long-term perspective, there will definitely be profitable. But there are certain key challenges that normally we should, at time we ignore. We are preoccupied with statutory compliance, like with ROC, with income tax, with others. But we have got a tendency to overlook these key challenges. So I would like to highlight 6-7 key challenges that all corporates should keep priority while they are dealing with merger and acquisition. So with permission, I have got one PPT. If you kindly permit,
Please.
maybe I may take 5-10 minutes.
No problem, sir. No problem.
For
it is your platform, sir. You can use it
for the better understanding of all my participants.
Sir.
So is it visible?
Not visible. We are not getting anything. Now started screening. You just screen it. Now it is okay.
Okay. So instead of full screen, is it comfortable with you?
Very comfortable, I think. I think the viewer must be also comfortable.
Okay.
It is comfortable.
Okay. So recently, last week, I was going through Economic Times, and there was an interview with the Honorable Chief Economic Advisor, and he confirmed that instead of higher growth rate, but in 2022-23, the growth rate would be around 6.3%, despite all this high rate of inflation and oil crisis, persistent war between Ukraine and Russia. And as far as key challenges for M&A while striking the deal, and more important is after the deal, the post-deal scenario is very important. So these are the key challenges that normally corporate face at the time of merger, after merger, and after the transition phase. So there is lack of transparency despite very clear-cut instruction in Companies Act. There has been amendment, and in that also at times we because I'm speaking from the practical point of view. Because I was also part of the merger, and I was asked to remain in charge for 6 months during the transition phase. So transparency is there, lack of transparency. All things are not settled, whether it is finance or it is different asset or it is. What is required is that transparency should be there. All important which are critical for both the industries, for both the unit, whether it is for the merging unit and merging, for both the unit, there must be absolute transparency right from the beginning, right from the start to finish, and everything should be recorded, and everything should be in pen and paper, in black and white, so that there is no ambiguity at any stage, because any ambiguity may lead to a lot of difficulties. And transparency imbibes confidence, not only in both the parties, but also it inculcates confidence in all the stakeholders, and even the partners and the regulators, starting from income tax authorities, the export-import authorities, if the merging unit and merged unit are in export, and also with the auditors. So there should be a holistic framework to track the progress, and not only we submit the proposal to ROC, and then it is scrutiny, then we are getting complacent. But right from the beginning till end, it's just like a new project, just like we are having bar chart and keep all the timelines. Similarly, in case of merger and acquisition, we should have from the day one, there should be timeline, and we should stick to the timeline, adhere to the timeline, and move accordingly, so that transparency increases trust of all stakeholders, not only of the partner, but all the stakeholders. And in addition to that, it helps accomplish the defined objective of merger. Then, these days, you are asking a very pertinent question to Chawla sir. So these days, without digital, it's very difficult to go ahead with merger and acquisition. And as far as merger and acquisition are concerned, many well-established domain knowledge firms, they have come up. Some of them are Indians, and some of them are also abroad. And they have developed a software, and we call it as virtual control room, virtual data control room, VDR. So there, that is very helpful for merger and acquisition, because all data, all records are available, and that is online. You need not go to the data center. That is available online. Discussions just like Zoom call and team, all these are online, and whenever across the globe, you can discuss with all stakeholders of all persons who are involved in the merger process. So this digital data room, that is, I think, very important, very critical for keeping this M&A to its logical and logical conclusion. Then, along with transparency, lack of communication. Communication plays a very critical role, not only in every sector, but very specifically for M&A. Because communication, not only exchange of draft agreement and vetting of the agreement by professionals, but right from the beginning, I was working in Nayagarh sugar industry. Then there was acquisition by private sector. So I faced a lot of problem there, because no communication from either side, starting from the employees till middle level executives. So this communication is very important among the all stakeholders. When there is proposal contemplation of merger and acquisition, we should keep our regulators informed. We should keep our employees, starting from the level top level executive to middle level executive, and the support staff. We should keep every employees communicated, well communicated. Why for there is merger and acquisition? What is the objective of merger and acquisition? what is the threat that should be, the threat perception should be wiped out, so that smoothen the process of merger and acquisition. Then I need not describe detail the implications of communication. There are security threats. Every unit, every company, every corporate has its own trade secret, intellectual property, financial statement, then details of employees. So there is this security. There is a potential threat to security. So only if it is digital and we can take help of this virtual data room, then we can get rid of this, we can prevent this threat to security, to this very classified information which are shared among the merging party and merged party, and whether one is which is acquired and which is and acquired. So this information should be very categorically and very delicately handled, and it can be taken care of if you go for the digital, digital, in a digital way, and we can take up this virtual data room, and there are many players in the market. Then another is that is the most important. I think it is the critical challenge. The human resources. There are some employees which are indispensable for the organization. So when during the M&A process, they undergo threat perception, and they may think of that the potential, who is taking over, or who, the company with which it is merged, whether he will retain him or not. So on both sides, that the human resource problems are very critical. That has to be taken. Normally, we don't ignore this aspect, but that is very critical as far as success is concerned. And the degree of success also, it depends on how serious, how we prioritize this human resource. So some employees need to be retained irrespective of the owner of the company, and some employees need to be fired. So that has to be taken in a very very detailed way, in a very systematic, professional way. And there are some other critical issues like the relationship, the transfer, and other critical. So this HR policy, HR aspect has to be taken. It should not be ignored, and we should not feel that we can take care of the merger. The prospective merger party will take care of the HR policy. If we entirely leave to them, then we may land in problem. And on account of that, this problem will definitely transmit to the new owner also. Then at times, poor evaluation. Chawla sir was mentioning about valuation and evaluation. So at times, evaluation is not meticulous, it is not professional. So if evaluation is not proper, and it affects both the parties, the buyer may face, it may not add any value to the buyer, and at times that may lead to failure of the M&A process. So evaluation and due diligence. As far as due diligence is concerned, very often we remain complacent after giving the proposal and detail to professional, professional groups. But in addition to that, they may take care of the legal aspect or financial aspect. But in addition to that, a team of both the parties should be formed, and they should they should analyze the implications of the draft M&A process, and they should be very honest and very steadfast in spelling out the implications, so that future problem can be rightly and at right time it can be addressed. Then transition period. So normally we overlook the transition period. We think that once the MOU is signed between the two parties, everything is complete, but that is a misnomer. MOU is only the beginning of the entire process. So we should, as from the beginning, I emphasize on the timeline, the bar chart from the day one. So we can try to avoid that transition phase, just like a project. If the project there is the time overrun, then definitely this lead to escalation of cost and ultimately the company land in loss. So we have to handle the transition time in a very professional, systematic way. And this transition process, there must be, we should try to minimize the transition phase, transition as soon as possible. This transition stage should be minimized, and we should be meticulous at this transition phase. Then transition phase will be smooth when there is detailed guidelines, detailed advanced planning, and detailed paperwork for transition and cross communication among the personnel, middle level, top level, and bottom level executives of both the unit. Then only the transition phase will be smooth, and it should be it can be minimized. And the last, but not the least, the unexpected cost. So normally we ignore this unexpected cost about the merger and acquisition, in addition to adding value to the for the buyer. So there may be some time when we buy a company now, we can, because of the turmoil condition, we can get at a lesser price. But if we wait for, a better period, then the price may go up. So similarly, when we buy a product by a company hurriedly, then ignoring its implications, other financial implications, the loan liabilities and other liabilities, even the HR also, there is a liability that pay hike maybe there. Some staffs are due for promotion, they have not been given promotion. So after takeover, they may claim for promotion, there may be strike, there may be so bonus and provident fund. So all these have been need to be calculated in to the high, so that there won't be any cost or unexpected cost. Advisory fees, other expenses. So all these technological upgradation, adoption of what I call this IT into your different software. If the software become obsolete, then it for replacement of software, replacement of units, replacement of equipment. So all these need to be taken care of, so that the deal, M&A deal is complete. Deal may be complete, but deal should accomplish its goal, either business expansion or diversification of business, maybe, and obviously, so that leads to win-win situation for both the units, both the units, like the prospective buyers and the prospective sellers. So these are the key challenges that normally we face at the time of acquisition, at the time of merger. And if we are careful right from the beginning, just like we launch a new project or a new product, then definitely these challenges will be, you will prioritize these challenges, and that will be helpful both for all stakeholders, not only for the partners, but also for the regulator and for the statutory authorities. So this is in short my presentation. And Gupta sir, so sorry if I have taken much time. Gupta sir, you are mute on.
Dr. Sir, I'm thankful to you. I think you have elaborated what are the points should be taken into consideration while taking the merger and acquisition. What you're talking about, the security threat, you're talking about the communication, you're talking about the human resources. And I think these are the major aspects while evaluating any merger or acquisition. I think you have a big experience under the field. And I think with your presentation, I think it is beneficial for the listener, for our members also. So some members are also requesting that you should give a presentation to the members also. So
sure. I'll share with you. I'll share the presentation.
Yes. Let me should try it. That what they are asking. we should share your presentation. It is a very nice presentation. I think
Thank
you
you,
worked
sir.
very nicely to give presentation and give your thoughts also.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Saab, I will come back to you. I'm just coming to Mr. Shiva Sharan ji. Shiva Sharan ji,
Good evening, sir.
hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Just I want to explain you. You see, you are MA, MPhil, and you are MBA. You are IBMR Pune. Work 25-year experience in financial services, sale and training. Worked with Centurion Bank. Very good. You're a banker also.
Yes. Yes.
Bank Muscat, ICICI Bank loan sector. Next, New York life insurance, ING Vessel. So much well, great experience, sir. Presently, you are running a company and you are a financial planner as well as trainer giving service to all insurance companies. I think you are the right person to talk. Sir, just I am asking you.
Yes, sir.
So this MA industry, despite the present slowdown, is forecast to do well in the not so distant future. What will be the future look like according to you? Because as per the research report which I mentioned also, it
Yes,
is
sir.
a very bright picture during financial year 2022. And what do you feel, sir? Because you are expert under the field, you are working in so many banks and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
explaining to the people also. What your thought about that, sir? What is the future of this MA? Please, I hand over
Sir.
to you.
Yes,
Please.
sir. Yes, sir. So, good evening, one and all. So, we are all know about mergers and acquisitions impact our world economy. Every corporate has attracted the concept of mergers and acquisitions all over the globe. All over the globe, studies and research are going on in various angles. Research reports are published on mergers and acquisitions, impact on different sectors of economy market. On the basis of research papers and reports, we can discuss some points. Okay, we understand that a merger is an agreement between two or more corporate firms to create a new entity by exchanging shareholding and an acquisitions. Acquisitions means process of each company purchase another company or gain a majority of another organizations. One firm takes the ownership of another corporate firms. Because of this, acquisitions are commonly known as takeovers. Acquisitions happen friendly, costly, black tip, and takeovers also. So regarding the questions, the ME industry, despite the present slowdown, forecast to do well, not so difficult future. That will be future lookout like according to me. Awareness among the corporate benefits from market and acquisitions, definitely no hurdle to persist slowdown, sir. Present government policies, initiative taken for development of nations in all parameters, future will be bright for merger and acquisition industries. New innovations in technology, especially in IT and this communication sector, definitely boost the MA market in future, sir. This is my view, sir.
So you feel that the future is bright. What are you talking
Yes.
about?
Yes,
And
sir.
even
Yes, sir.
talking about the technology and IT sector also. You
Yes,
feel
sir.
that this will be a good, you can say, merger will be there in technology side. What you're talking about?
No, these sectors support to the all sectors of merger and acquisition, sir.
This sector, what do you suggest that the
Yes.
technology
Yes.
or IT sector can be a good
Uh,
scope for the merger
Yeah,
and what you're talking
and
about?
as well as government policies. So our Indian government initiated the policy like Startup India, Skill India. These
Okay.
initiatives definitely boost the merger and acquisition industries.
So when we are talking about the startup, we just talk about the startup. The
Yes.
startup, even now they have started because they are facing so many problems. either
Yes.
for the fund or you can say for the equity or from the fund.
Yes, sir.
You feel that the merger will be useful for a startup?
So it is definitely useful, sir. So not only fund aspects, so startups will take a journey of set of good corporate cultures.
Okay.
Yes, next hiring a trained and talented human resources. Next, client-friendly operation systems also necessary for the startups growing as a corporate.
Do you feel that the startup there is also a merger acquisition or you take over by another person? What are you talking like that? Because structure startup is about 80 or 90% is our failures. Even 10% or 20% are having a somewhat you can say see the goodness. Otherwise, because the startup is facing a lot of problems, whether you're talking about the technology or talking about the fund requirement or talking about the market also, because when you're starting anything, so they cannot compete with the you can say well established player. So what do you feel that this will be startup will be a good scope for the merger?
So right now, timing it is not possible. Sir.
Okay,
Further days, some companies are merged with already established companies.
okay.
Then both are growing like merger and acquisitions. I feel, sir.
You feel that it will be useful for.
Yes, yeah, useful.
Okay. Any other thoughts in respect of this? You can say for the future, anything in your mind beside the technology, what you're talking about, the IT sector, in
Yes,
other
sir.
sector, where some merger can be taken place.
So in the banking system also recently happened one
Ah,
merging.
yes. Ah,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. This is important. Even when
Exide
you're
Life
talking,
merged with HDFC, sir.
yes, you're talking about the Vijay Bank, you're talking
Yes,
about
sir. Yes, sir.
this
This
banker.
is a very good example for
You're talking
like
about Dina Bank,
merging
you're talking about
and
Dina Bank, you're
acquisition.
talking about the Vijay Bank, they merged with the Bank of
Yes,
Baroda.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So many other Punjab National Bank, the United Bank has merged with these people.
Yes, sir.
So when talking about the
So it
Union,
is a cost effective. It is cost effective. Next, employee centric. So
you're
these
right.
points are help to the merger and acquisitions industry, sir, in banking sectors.
That means that's like you're talking about the Infosys. Infosys, why the another consultancy firm? And when we are talking about the ICICI Lombard, they acquired
Yes,
the
sir.
Bharati. So
Yes, sir.
how do you feel that this is not a technical aspect or a IT sector? So how you feel
No,
the insurance is going to merge with the another insurance companies?
HDFC Life acquire this Exide Life insurance companies
Mm-hmm.
recently.
Okay.
So both synchronizing like their core values. So it is a good example for merging and acquisitions.
Okay. Just like a Tata Group,
Yeah.
acquiring the Birla or Reliance, multi-business companies.
Yes,
When
sir.
you're talking about the another company that you can say horizontal or vertical merger
Yes,
or a
sir.
reverse merger,
Yes, sir.
something is also taking place. Have any view on that respect?
So it is
Vertical, horizontal
by
or vertical?
2019 and 2021,
Yes.
so many companies are acquire like companies.
Okay.
For example, OYO acquires Innova 8 for INR 220 crores. Second, Cloud Cherry by Cisco. Paytm acquires travel startup nights stays. In
Yes.
2020, ITC 100% taken Sunrise Food Private Limited, rupees of 2,150 crores. This is a cash deal, sir. Zomato, it's
Yes. The matter also.
dollar 350 million, sir. In 2021, Adani Green Energy, so
Yes.
taken over of SBI Energy Holding Limited, SBI Energy Holding Limited, dollar 3.5 million, sir. Tata Sun, Air India, 18,000 crores, sir. Next, foreign investors interested take doing a business of merger and acquisitions.
Very nice. Thank you very much. I will come back to you. And
Yes.
Mr. Vidyasagar is available. Shri Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar is there. I think
I
he
don't
left.
think he's there.
He's not there. So, sir, I'm coming to Chawla, sir.
Ji.
Chawla, sir, there is one question for you. So, Chawla, sir, if management of any company is good, then no company will ever never be sick or will be subject matter of MA. I'm right? What are you asking, Mr. S.C. Agarwal?
Yeah, that's correct.
True point is only management. He talking if management of any company is good, then the unit cannot become sick. This is a Guru Mantra he is giving. One management. Management should be good to avoid any sickness. Have any view on that, Chawla, sir?
The fact remains that management plays a very crucial role in the running of a unit.
But this is not
Successful.
This is not a one factor. This is not one factor. Even I have conducted a industrial sickness. One Reserve Bank has assigned one job to me. I was with NIBM to conduct a research project on the sickness. Why the industry becomes sick? So this is one of the factors.
Yeah, this is one of
Another
the
factor.
factors, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, it is one of the factors, but the fact remains the quality of management, the capability which they have, which they possess,
Yes,
that itself steers out a company from the turmoil, troubled times.
okay.
If the management is weak, when I say management is weak, it could be weak in the managing aspect of it. It could be weak from the resources point of view as well. I mean, resources can be equity or their borrowing capacity or their funds raising capacity. If a unit is facing problems in the short term, financial problem or other manpower problem, etc., if the management is capable, they can overcome those problems by acquiring the right type of people, inducting the right type of people into their team, and also by tying up the financial resources in whatever manner they can do, by equity or by raising funds or by issuing some certain instruments to mobilize the resources. So the management quality certainly matters for any unit, and as you said, it is one of the factors for failure of a unit or sickness of a unit. Fact remains, the management quality is responsible for failure of the unit also. If it is weak, they don't have resources, they don't have capabilities to raise the funds or to raise the manpower or manage the other resources required for running a unit successfully, then certainly it is a failure on their part and the management quality can be termed as a weak. But if you see any good, well-established houses, I mean, I'm not talking of the very big houses, I'm talking of the middle-level houses also. There are managements which are capable and which are able to steer their units despite operational difficulties by way of mismatch in the cost and selling price or mismatch in the production processes. So they are able to overcome that by realigning their activities or realigning their production processes or mobilizing the resources for meeting those requirements. I mean, quality of management certainly is important. If it is good from all points of view, that is financially it is sound, technically it is competent, and managerially it is good quality, then I don't think they will face much of a problem in managing the unit, unless it is a policy type of a situation or it is an economic based scenario in which it is difficult to operate. Those are exceptional things and beyond the control of the management, we all know. But the fact is, other factors for which management is responsible, if they are confident of that, if they are capable of that, they can certainly steer the unit out.
Very nicely, Chawla sir. I am also agreeing with this point. By change in the, if you see so many examples of the banks even.
Yes.
So I will not name here some banks where the management undergo a change. Then that bank has come out. Or some industry is also there. When the entire management has changed, whether you talk about the steel industry, there is one or two steel industries where they're taken over by another company. You can say acquisitions. And after acquisition, you see the sale price of that company of steel. I don't want to name that company.
Yes.
That you see the sale price of that company after acquisition of the another company.
Yeah, certainly yes. It gets a
management plays very, very important
very,
role.
very crucial role. Yes.
the management is good, everything can be managed. They can manage the finance, they can manage the raw material, they can manage everything for that.
Yes.
I do. Mr. Tripathi sir, what my participant desires your presentation, so it will be
Sure,
okay.
sure.
You can send the presentation
Yes, sir.
so that we can share among the people.
Yeah, sir. As you rightly said, management is most critical factor. But in addition to that, as Gupta sir said, as Chala sir said, over and above the policy, the human resources and the operational efficiency need to be there in addition to the efficiency and capability of management. And the demand, if there is demand for the product for which the company is, aimed, then they have to create a demand. So I was working in a cooperative sector, then it was taken over by private sector. As you rightly said, just after the management, there has been a sea change in the attitude and in productivity, in punctuality of employees. So all these are all management-driven units.
Yeah, and Gupta ji, if you must have also realized because you travel a lot. Now, the occupancy level of the Air India aircrafts were different when it was, with earlier management. If you see after the change in management, you see you hardly find a seat which is vacant. Or
Yeah, right.
flights. I mean, that is the quality of management. That is the confidence in the management of the public. Yes, they can manage it well.
Public confidence is also important, sir.
Yes, that is very important.
Because that reputation of that who has taken over, they also
Yes.
then people will try. We should go there. Everything will be right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Tripathi sir, have any thought, any views to what I think I understand that your 3-4 days you studied properly and the proper presentation.
Yeah.
Other things are there. I think you have put a very hard labor.
Thank you, sir.
Have any
Thank
point from sir? What is anything you want to say which you have left it? Or what is your advice you want to give to our members? Any advice you want to give, Mr. Tripathi?
No, I have prioritized. I had prepared this PPT. Normally, we ignore all these key points. So when this M&A activities or deal is taking place, we should be very focused. In addition to the draft MOU and the compliance from the register of companies, IT, we should equally be giving priority to all these key points like transparency, involving employees right from the beginning, communication at every stage. When there is minutes of meeting, then minutes of meeting should be communicated to all concerned. Normally, because of the preoccupations, we forget to communicate the minutes of meeting, but that is very important. Minutes of meeting should be communicated to all stakeholders, even including the rest of companies, so that every stakeholder is at the same page during this process of M&A, so that it will achieve its logical end. With a vote of myself.
Thank you, sir. Shiva Sharanji, have any view? I mean, a last thought.
This subject is very useful to the all corporate and
unmute कर लीजिए, unmute नहीं है शायद.
Doing M&A business also.
Sir, unmute कीजिए.
This session is very useful.
Sir, Mr. Vidyasagar is available, sir. No issue. Chaliye sir, Chawla sir, lastly word you can sum up, or you say advice to our members, sir. Chawla sir.
Gupta ji, basically, Dr. Tripathi has covered it well. It was a very, well drafted, quite comprehensive presentation. To sum up the matter, we can say that the various factors in success of a M&A type of a activity is widefold, starting from the the exchange of information, creating a confidential data room or sharing the data in confidence, and also working out the other valuables in a company, that is proper valuation of each and every aspects of a company, that is very vital, and it should be quite realistic and convincing to the target company as well as acquiring company, or the two buyers and sellers companies. It should be convincing to both, and while doing so, as Professor Patil said, the future valuation should be kept in mind. The short term, the gains or losses are not that material. Only they should target on the long term. Maybe after 2 years, after 3 years, after 5 years, how the things are going to happen. Integration or the merger of unit is successful only when they are overall able to improve the efficiencies and the value for the stakeholders. For that, data are shared in a right sense, without any it should be with full transparency, without any concealment of the data, and both the parties should know what they are offering and what they are acquiring. So with that type of a confidence and proper evaluation of each and every aspect of it, I think the deal can sail through comfortably, and in the long term it will be beneficial to both the units, because whole consideration may not pass through the cash. Some these stocks are also shared, some shareholding is also shared, the management responsibility is also shared among two companies. So if the long term view is there and it is positive, then it is beneficial to both the parties. So it should be taken that way. If that type of approach succeeds, or we are able to sell, then it is certainly beneficial for both the units, merged as well as merging unit. I mean, that's what I want to say. And confidentiality of the data and the trust between the two parties during the process of negotiation is a very, very vital, thing, because we have seen certain failed mergers and acquisitions which have resulted into, loss to one or the other parties. So that trust must be built up, and the evaluation should be proper, and long-term view should be kept in mind, so that the activity gets sailed through, and it is beneficial to both the management in the long term.
Very
That's
nice, Wayne. So, Mr. Agarwal, again, I mentioned something regarding Baba Ramdev. He's telling that he acquired this Ruchi soya.
Ruchi soya, yes.
And so how much a good management is there, and how he progressed that Suchiruya. I agree, Mr. Chawla, management plays very important role. As Chawla ji already told you that it is playing very important role for any venture, whether it's sick unit or a running unit, they can turn the corner for that. So, Shiva Shanji, have any view for that, Shiva Shanji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Audible.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me.
So, sir, it
Tell
is
me.
a good initiative to all over the globe, sir. So it is a very good subject to distribute among the all market and market of acquisitions and merger this thing units. Okay, so delegate leaders giving a good informations to the all viewers. It is a well initiative, sir, from you. So it is this type of subject is necessary to India will be grow, achieve whatever they are targeting by
5 trillion
2030.
economy.
Yes, yes, sir.
5
Yes, sir.
trillion economy and
Yes, yes, yes.
2025.
Yes, sir.
And that,
Yes, sir.
that is
That is very useful to
system.
market and industry.
Yeah, that is, I think, the way forward for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm
Yes, sir.
really thankful to Shri Chawla sir,
Yes, sir.
Shri Dr. Tripathi sir, and my friends who are just speaking. So I'm also thankful to my team behind the scene, who I know not seen on the screen. Shri R.K. Padiyadi, Shri Rohan, Shri Davinder, and Lokesh, and Vishwas. Beside that, Mr. Surinder Pal Singh, who is the director of this association also. This association is meant to impart the knowledge. The Association for Financial Advisor of India was established in 2021, and from 22 we have started this education virtual session. About we have already completed, and we are getting good feedback from our members, from the bankers, from the entrepreneurs. With their suggestion, we are holding such webinars for that. Today webinar, I think, will prove to be very useful for the participant because all the eminent speakers speak from their personal experience, not any practical things. I'm especially thankful to Mr. Tripathi. I think I understand he worked 3 or 4 days continuously,
Thank you.
prepare the slide or something like that to give presentations and give their thoughts. Even I am requesting Sri Chawla sir only yesterday evening that you share your experience because he has a vast experience in the banking sector. Besides that, he is also a consultant and he is also doing a social service for the Lions Club also. So I'm thankful to Chawla sir for sparing your valuable time and although very brief notice. So you always oblige us, and I'm thankful to Shiva Shanaji, who is very educated person, and he has given a very good thoughts, which will be proved to be useful for the participants. So my only request to the members who are listening to this program, let us become the member of this association, because association is objective is to give a knowledge and do something to have some ethics while working as a financial advisor. That was our motive for that. We are on the association. You can say we are in Research in India banner, where we are a merchant banker, we are an investment banker, we are conducting a technical viability study for the banker, we are giving training to the bankers, and we are also government advisory services. Besides that, in solvency, we are doing it. We are also preparing a DPR for all the entrepreneurs, and we are pan India presence for that. That is our strength of the research in India. I am again thankful to all the eminent speakers and all the participants who always bless us. I think more than 500 participants is there besides having the YouTube and this Facebook and LinkedIn. So I request them to please send their feedback to us if possible, so that it can encourage the eminent speakers, encourage our association to give new topic. If any topic you require from us the next week, so we are also ready to come up with that topic also. Thank you with this word. I close this session. I'm
Thank you.
thankful to all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.